Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the neighborhood. We've been going live every day this summer, and then Rob just told me he's not been broadcasting it. It's just by myself.
Did you wait all week to say that joke, Dave?
And it's the only one I got, Jim. I got one joke, and it's
now we got to wing it. That's good.
Yeah.
It was the most prepared we've been all year.
Our entire script is now done, so just wing it from here on in. Hey, everybody. We've got internationally renowned Russ Broom on the strings. He's our strings. Hey, Russ, how you doing?
So far, so good. How are you?
Yeah, it's so
nice to see everyone.
I haven't seen all of you in a clump since whenever we last did this.
In a clump.
Jimmy, you're good? How's everything in your world?
Good. I'm stuck in the shadows. I'm cutting out in the sun right now.
Just so we're all clear, Jim is the part of our Zoom call where he spends the first half hour of the Zoom call going,
yeah,
I can't see you.
I'm locked out. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hey, I'm eating a carrot out of our garden right now.
Tell me what happened?
We put seeds in it, put water on it, the sun baked it, and carrots came out.
Wow. I didn't know you were a scientist. That's amazing.
Tracy did it all. Tracy did it all. We had
It looks
zucchini,
good.
we had carrots. We have the coolest sunflower. Big, huge. It's like 12 feet tall.
Amazing.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's really cool, Jim. Are
And
you going to write that in?
She made a meal, a shepherd's pie, with all the ingredients from the garden.
Including a shepherd?
Potato, carrots, beans, peas.
I love that. This is what's exciting to me is that, like, what is it? 2 minutes into the show, we're already going over recipes. So this is pretty good so far. Mandy, how are you doing? We needed a script. I should have thought of that. Mandy, do you got any recipes you'd like to share?
Just a little bit of joy and a lot of hope, and you'll be fine and able to cook.
Mm.
No,
it even rhymed too.
Trying to rhyme.
Wow.
I'm doing great. Summer's been great. It's been amazing. We're just getting out of a pretty bad cold, so I was a little worried that I had caught the forbidden or whatever the COVID, but we didn't. We got negative tests back, so that's great. So we just had a normal summer cold, which is crazy because I never thought it would be a normal summer cold, and all my neighbors were like, well, yeah, there's like summer colds, there's totally normal thing. And this has done a lot of things to our brain. But other than that, we're doing really good. We had a really good adventure this summer and a lot of time at home, and it's been lovely. But it's really, really good to see you guys. I missed you.
It's
missed
fun
you too, Mandy.
Yeah, absolutely. Russ, what sort of things went down? Do you have any summer events? What did you do?
Well, it was really busy.
Was it?
Yeah, it's been a really, really busy summer. I've been working on a new record with Jan, and we've been writing a lot for that. And then we did a couple of audiobooks with her. And then I've been working with another artist named Art Bergman, so we're knee deep in a record with him. And we tried to get away and go to BC for a few days, and that was fun. We stayed at some cool Airbnbs and saw some friends that live in this really kind of remote part of Gibson's up the side of a mountain. And yeah, that was an adventure.
And the hippies?
It was good. Yeah, it's been good so far. The patio's open at the restaurant. The puppy's turning into more of a dink than she was before. So everything's going the way it should.
The puppy's more of a dink.
Oh, it's such a puppy, such a bulldog puppy. But we love her. She's terrific. But what a pain in the. Anyways, how are you, Dave?
Where is the puppy? I want to see this dink.
Right there. Posted a picture.
There.
Oh, look at it.
Oh, there's the dink.
It looks like the puppy from Captain Marvel that has like. Have you guys watched that? And like this like octopus tongue comes out of his mouth with that toy there.
It is a toy. She doesn't have some weird kind of birth defect or anything. It's not a Cthulhu or anything. It's just a toy squid that she loves. And yeah.
Now, I'm
It's so
curious, when Jan Arden is recording an audiobook, I want to hear the outtakes of that because I bet there's a lot of pretty funny swearing going on.
No, there was none.
The consummate professional, Russ. Consummate professional.
So did you go to where the Beachcombers was?
Yeah, we were in Gibson's, which is where the Beachcombers was filmed. And it seems to be turning into the Vancouver.
No
really?
way.
Yeah.
Do people dress up like Relic and things like that?
It's becoming, quite nice. And I mean, it's a really cute little place. And our friends out there are really inspiring. So, yeah, we ate lots of seafood. Our food poisoning from a different restaurant. So that was fun. And yeah, but we won't go too into the details of that as they're not very pleasant for anyone. But yeah, Gibson's is really sweet. It's up by, there's Sea Shells is up there too, and it's like a 40-minute ferry ride from Horseshoe Bay, and yeah, it was lovely. We had this ridiculously good crab every day that we were there because it's not like we're gonna get it here. So yeah, the local crabs here are terrible.
Jim's had crabs here.
A different kind.
Yeah. My crabs are small though.
Yeah, cool ones. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't had them yet, so something to look forward to.
You got a little more ointment left if you need.
Yeah.
Kind of salve or balm or something.
Salve. Well, that's better. I should have said salve. Now,
Word. It sounds like a dirty word.
It does. What was like for you, Russ? Did you learn anything? Like, did you feel like your world? It was it's been I don't want to unprecedented, but we're living precedented times. How did life affect you, Russ?
Yeah, it was. I think we've been so busy that we're having a hard time actually sitting down and going, okay, how are we going to figure out how the next year is going to go? Mm-hmm. So we've been lucky to be quite busy and sort of more in the moment rather than having the opportunity or the excess amount of time to sit and talk about what the next year is going to be like for everyone. So that's been a little bit frustrating because it's hard to plan and hard to consider everything, all the changes, all the unpredictability that everyone's going through, and how we're supposed to fit our lives into that new sort of way of doing things. So, we're lucky to get the patio open at the restaurant, and that's been great. And that lets us some more people in there safely. And the music world, obviously I haven't been doing any gigs, a couple weird online things here and there, but there's been a lot of studio work and a lot of TV and film stuff, and that's been good. But it's just so odd to not have the time to really consider how everything is changing and not really keeping our fingers crossed thinking it's going to go back to how it was, but what is the new way of doing things and how can we try and be on the front end of that, because there's opportunity there somewhere, so we're trying to look at it that way.
Yeah, it's a wild dance, and I find the whole thing is just we're all finding our ways, which and Jim, I've had a few people come up to me and say, how's Jim doing? So Jim, how are you doing?
That's what the blog is for.
I know. Tell us about the blog, Jim.
Good one. You practiced that one. You got to at least practice that one.
Oh yeah, that's on my script. Right after. What's funny about my script is it had 1, 2, 3, 4 things written down, and I already went in the wrong order. Sorry, Rob.
I know. I'm trying. I'm waiting for my cues, Dave. But...
Sorry. I'm so sorry, Mandy. It's Jim, and then you, and then me. Okay, there.
Mandy, I feel bad that I went ahead of you if I was not supposed to be on Dave's script that way.
No. Tell us about the blog, Jim.
Just a bunch of words on an internet. So, but no, this summer's been for me. It's been like everybody. It's weird, but to me, it's different. I think it's different than most people's because I'm already I'm super quarantined.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like a superhero. Actually, I should get that big Q on my shirt. Super quarantined.
Yeah.
And so we did a lot of projects around the house. It feels like we've been working for the last 2 months. We painted and redid all Amanda's room. Tracy had Amanda's bed redone, old antique bed. We painted the basement bathroom, or at least I did. Tracy spent the last 3 weeks staging and moving all the old antique stuff out of her parents' place and putting in modern furniture to try and sell it, repainting and doing all the work on that. We're tearing this garage down. I don't know if you can see it. We're tearing that garage down tomorrow. So we had to empty all the stuff out and throw and purge all that stuff. It feels like we've just been doing, we made good use of it. Let's just say that. This COVID did not go wasted in terms of chores, but I'm looking for the fun adventure. And I think that's where we're going to start trying right now, is trying to do some of that stuff.
Are you going to use explosives to take out the garage?
I don't know what he's going to do. It's the Demolition Man. Just
Really?
like in the movie. Yeah. He's coming tomorrow. I should film it.
Yeah, you should film it.
Actually, you know what we should have done? We should have done the show and just, Mandy, you could have painted this whole wall. We could have just done some art.
Oh, we should have.
Graffiti on the wall.
We could have painted your whole body and thrown you against it.
Can you explain that, please?
Just for like an abstract but beautiful portrait of yourself before.
I think it's a great idea. I think there's still time.
Before the next era.
So you're talking about painting my body and I just run against the garage and smacking it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I've seen people do that.
Repeatedly.
I've never tried it, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, every piece of art starts somewhere.
Yeah, I'm coming.
What if we did it like those champagne bottles on a ship, where we tie his feet, paint him, then pull him back, let him go, and he smacks against it, and then we paint him some more and smacks.
Kind of what I'm picturing, what Mandy and Russ are planning. Doesn't seem as much fun for me.
Well, well, the painting part would be fun because you'd be naked, so that would be fun to paint you.
Don't you think it'd be fun to just get a big sledgehammer and just juice it?
Yeah.
Just tell the guy, I just got started without you.
Yeah.
But you could be the sledgehammer. You could be a painted sledgehammer.
Oh yeah.
Instead of a wrecking ball.
What if I put paint on a sledgehammer and just smash the walls?
Oh, that'd be fun.
You hold the sledgehammer while we were thrusting you against the side.
You keep coming back to the hurting me part, Russ. All right, I was just in the hospital for a week. Give me a break. So harsh. Guys are harsh and mellow.
Next, you're going to say, and I've got cancer. Come on, quit making this stuff up.
Read the blog.
Hey, do you have, it's Gather with Jim. Gather with Jim. Is there a window right there? Like, if you look at your garage from where you are right now, is there a window?
No, a door.
Oh, you can't throw a rock from here through a window.
You want me to go do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. I got to find a rock.
Oh, good.
Tracy's going to kick my ass.
No, don't do it.
There's the window.
Yes, good. Get a rock.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is what middle-aged people, when they think they're vandals.
Maybe you might want to talk to Mandy while I look for a rock.
You say there's rioting at the Jim Button household, everybody.
There's
Be careful.
Probably stuff on the other end that there's a bed there. Oh, this is going to be so much trouble. Go ahead, talk to Mandy. Mandy,
I don't want to talk to Mandy while people are watching you. They're going to be pouring your rock, Jim.
Well, no, there's not a lot of rocks in my backyard.
What if you throw a village beer through it? Go in the house, get a village beer, and huck it through the window.
That's sad, Steve. I'm not throwing a good beer.
It's marketing. Think of it as a marketing stunt. Don't punch it.
No. I bet you I could.
Punch the window?
I could probably do the Bruce Lee 1-inch punch.
Cover your hand with a cloth first.
I've seen this in the movie. You got to take your shirt off, take off your shirt, wrap it around.
Wrap it around.
Yeah.
I think this is a dumb idea.
I think so too.
I think not finding the rock was probably my clue not to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll kick a door down for you. Oh, that didn't work.
You know what,
Okay.
Jim? In my script, it says right here, mad stunts with Jim Button. And the most we got is, ow, that didn't work.
You got the typo. It's bad stunts.
Mandy, how are you doing?
I
Tell
am
us a story
so
about your
good.
summer.
All right. Well, similar to Jim, we did a lot of projects around the house. There's not a lot of things that you can do right now, obviously, and it's also really good for the mind. I think probably similar to you, Dave. I've been going through really highs and giant lows about just not knowing what the future looks like and all of these big changes that have happened to us all. So doing like the garden, we made a bunch of beds, we stained everything, we did the drainage, like we've done all this amazing stuff around the house, which is great. So I also have been playing in the studio. Oh, that's not what I want to show you.
Oh,
so I'm doing a lot of commissions and a lot of I've got a really, really big project that's coming out in October. So that's been fun. But this is kind of our summer. This is our lake just outside of our house. So
wow.
Very, very lovely. There's my hot husband on the paddleboard. This is kind of where we've been living. This is my little guy in his truest form. In Auburn Bay, Calgary. He hasn't found any octopus yet, but he's still looking, which is great. I did get a visit from a very good friend who I love. It was too short though, so when you coming back? And then we decided to take a quick trip to BC. Jack was born in Kelowna, and I wanted to give him some of his life pieces. We got there though, and it was right when it was like the Kelowna virus was terrible. So we just kept going. And then the boys found their new favorite restaurant, which is in Hope, BC. And it's called Home. And it's all they ask for now, which is very interesting for my kids. But on the way, we did stop at the Enchanted Forest. And I really think the artist there that made all these sculptures is like my soulmate. So I'm a little bit obsessed with her now because it's like, doesn't that look like a painting I would have made? Oh, I love it so much. But so we drove all the way to Vancouver and we did a little bit of fun around the ocean, made some wishes, saw the aquarium. This is now how you travel with kids in masks. And then we were going to go to the island and the kids were like, no, let's just get home. So in one day we drove from Vancouver back home and the whole trip was 4 days. And that's my family and how we travel. I also got to celebrate my wedding anniversary with my hunk of a husband. So that's been lovely. And then just chilling out and trying to think about the innovation and the new future and what that looks like with art, what that looks like with our careers, what that looks like as a family unit, and what we want to change and what we want to see because now's the time. So that's kind of been the recap of the Stobo summer. And it's been awesome. Yeah, it's been really, the time with the kids has been so great. But also I love doing things and the kids are just, the kids and Phil just would rather chill out all the time. So I'm like, let's go biking, let's go this, let's go to the island. And they're just like, no, let's just go home. We like it at home best. So that's good.
Well, you've made a nice home then, Mandy. Let's look at the positive here.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. But we left Vancouver at 2:30 p.m. and we got home just around 4 a.m. And the kids, every time I was like, should we stop? I want to stop. Let's stop and get a hotel. And they were like, no, let's just keep going. Like even Luca, he was like, no, go, let's get home. And I was like, oh my God, who are these people?
And they slept while you drove.
Yeah, not really. No, they didn't sleep at all. They just watched movies and hung out, which was great. It was a really good time for them to be brothers because they don't really hang out a lot. So that was lovely. But yeah, it was funny.
It's awesome.
But it was amazing.
How has your heart been? I always use your heart as kind of my barometer of the world. How is your heart feeling?
It's up and down, but it's growing. I hope. Yeah. But yeah, it's been a interesting roller coaster, I think. And we're getting to the other end. The last couple weeks have been I've been a little bit lower than I was before. I was really inspired and excited, and then I kind of hit that lull again. But now I'm coming out into what we can do this fall and what we want our life to be. And I think we all have that chance right now, which is very lucky. And I can't wait to see what the other side looks like.
Oh, that's so good. So good. Remember on my thing here, it says, once again, Mandy, I threw you because Jim was supposed to do his internet stuff. Why don't we do that now, Mandy?
All right, you got it.
That's funny.
Mandy, I got 4 things to do and I got them completely in the wrong order. Jim.
This is what happens when you take we were so smooth. We were like a machine before. We are just winging it now. Oh, Russ is starting music. I'm talking. Bedlam
all day.
Maybe you need to go kick the door again, Jim. That'll be our.
No, I think I pulled a hammy already. That was a dumb move.
Oh no!
It looks so much cooler on like when Bruce Lee does shit like that.
Don't be a dink, Jim. So Jim, tell us about how's the internet been over the summer?
The internet, well, I think a lot of people were on it this summer. I think usage went up because there was a lot of funny stuff. Let's take a look.
All right, sure. What do you got?
Pick anything that was.
All right, go.
Oh, this is hard for me to read.
Yeah, I can pull it in again. Let me just do this one more time for you guys because this is a little bit small. There you go.
There we
go. Yeah, they said the first perfect toy for 2020 doesn't exist. And watch, once Mandy pops it up there, you'll see. Oh, is it up?
It's not there? Am I not on?
No, it's me.
There you go.
I'm gonna pin you.
Yeah. There you go. What is it?
So it's like a kid's workbench, work from home bench. What do you think?
That's like
Lucas. Work from home playset. Exactly.
That's the word.
And it says includes video conference, crying baby, and wine bottles.
See? All the things, Mandy, you're talking about creativity and innovation. Somebody invent, like if this was actually real, I'm hoping it is. That person's a genius.
Yeah, it is. Totally.
Okay, what's the next one? Just what 2020 needed. Thor versus the Care Bears. Look at that. A rainbow versus the light. Like, who has that all at once? Like, is that climate change or is that just 2020? Probably 2020.
What's the next one, Jay?
Oh, this is poor teachers. They look what they have to wear going into school this year. Full hazmat suits. It'd be nice if actually, if our government would actually supply them with those, since they're making them do what they're doing. But
just poke that in there, James.
Yeah.
A little political there for a second. No.
Sure, you're loud.
Am I allowed?
Just don't shred the envelopes or the ballots.
Mandy, can you read that one for me?
Maybe 2020 will be like a mullet, and the back half is the party.
Yes. And of course, for those listeners that don't know, party up front or a business up front, party in the back. Switch. Can you imagine a mullet haircut? That's actually probably pretty cool.
We used to call it hairdry when I was a kid.
Really?
Hairdry?
Yeah, like Airdrie hair. There's always a lot of mullets in Airdrie.
Yes.
Or the Long and McQuaid.
Oh, this one's really good.
Oh, nice.
This one's funny. Okay, Mandy, read this one.
Sure. Lower cognitive ability linked to non-compliance with social distancing guidelines during the coronavirus. And then the comment says, I don't know what lower cognitive ability means, but I certainly won't wear a mask ever.
It pretty much says it right there.
That's good. That's good. It's good.
Poke. What does this one say?
Socks that are lost in the dryer come back as Tupperware lids that don't fit anything.
Right. Great. It was 2 big pet peeves all in one little post.
It's true though. Where do they go and where do they come?
I have no clue. No
it's insane.
Freaking clue. Yeah. Especially the socks. Like the Tupperware, I get it. You take it out of the house, you do stuff with it. But the socks, like there's limited spots it goes.
Your feet?
Goes off your feet into the laundry hamper, into the washing machine.
All right, our final one.
Last one. No one has ever bought these. They don't exist in stores. On the day you become a grandma, a crystal candy dish full of them appears on your kitchen counter, and it never runs out.
True, right? These and those mints, those little bad mints. White
they're
mints.
But they're not good, are they?
Good.
Does anybody enjoy them?
Because they've been there since the first time they were magically put in that bowl.
They're terrible.
So yeah, there's the internet. We did do the internet's funny song though.
Oh,
Can we do an extra of the internet was funny?
yeah. You all ready? Here it comes. This is Russ Broom working the soundtrack. The internet is funny.
Was.
There you
Oh, funny.
Perfect. That was
I
the
think
best
we're
segue
nailing-
we've done yet.
I think we did it in one take. Yeah, man. It's good, isn't
Not
it?
bad, guys.
Oh my gosh. It's good to see we haven't lost our touch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That Emmy is soon coming. I could just sense it.
Can almost smell it.
Yeah.
Think about that trophy, Dave.
Yes, that one is going to be so
Oh,
exciting.
don't say it because he's going to show a trophy.
What? Sorry, I got a call coming in. Just one sec. Hello. Oh, I'm doing a show right now. Yeah, grade 7 award. Yeah, that's how
His
smart I am.
trophy phone.
Thank you. Talk soon. Speaking of anniversaries, I noticed on the worldwide internet that yesterday, Vari and Russ, was that yesterday? Vari and Russ is 10,000 years of joy.
Yeah,
Look
well,
at
you know
that.
what? 6 years ago yesterday was our
yes.
first date because we met on Tinder.
Did you?
Yeah.
And where did you go for your date?
We went to a cute little bar called Milk Tiger.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
And we both had plans because we thought the date might not go well. So
Yeah.
we met early for a drink, and I had a dinner meeting, and she had a thing with a bunch of friends. So we both had an out. And then we actually ended up texting each other and meeting for a beer afterwards. And we ended up talking for a few hours. And then I went away for a week, and then we started going on lots of dates.
Isn't that fun?
But
That
that was
is so awesome.
August 3rd was the night we met. Yeah.
Now, can I ask a Tinder question?
Sure.
Because I
Right,
want to
left.
live vicariously through you. Because Tinder wasn't around in my dating days. So when you meet somebody on Tinder, because in my head, of course, it's nothing but sex and debauchery. Is that understood that that's what's going to happen every time you meet somebody?
Well, I didn't know it was that because I'm an older guy.
Right.
And so
Mean it
6
is
years
that?
ago, when I got on Tinder, I didn't realize it was like a hookup-y app.
Right.
So I was like, well, let's go for a drink. And people were like, why? And I'd be like, I don't know. So we can have a conversation. And they were like, well, why don't you just come over? And I'm like, well, I don't know you. I don't want to come over. And then I'm like, oh, right. Okay. Well, see, I wasn't very adept at that. But yeah, so, you know, I just thought it was a way to meet someone thinking you both wanted to go on a date and hopefully meet someone you want to hang out with.
Right.
And so, yeah. So, no, we
That's
didn't
how
see
naive I am. Is I
That's
thought
what you
that's actually what it still was.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping, but
Oh.
So it worked out for you.
it did. Yeah. Yeah. I got really lucky for sure.
And then you met Vari, so that's good too.
And then you got married in front of 700 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there, Dave. That was good.
Yeah. That was fun.
That was
really
on a script too.
Well, that's it. That's so great. I was 1 year during the Stampede. There was a guy in the show, in the grandstand show, which didn't happen this year. I don't know if you guys noticed. And he spent before showtime on Tinder, and he would do the come to the thing. You'll see me in the show and we'll hook up after. And it was just insane. Like his Stampede was a lot of work and a lot of activities. That's for sure.
Wow.
That's as good as that story.
Hey, can I tell you another anniversary?
Oh yeah, go.
Mine's coming up on Sunday with Tracy.
How many?
Wow.
years?
This will be a 2-4. I think.
Whoa.
Wait,
Did
no,
you guys
7.
meet on Tinder?
No, 23. Did we meet on Tinder? Yeah. It was
after you were already married.
it was Christina Keith's introduced us. I actually just met Tracy blind. It was kind of a blind date because I just called her up when she gave me Tracy's number, and I called her up when I arrived in Calgary, and she was heading down to Fernie on the weekend and invited me to go along. Not expecting me to say yes, of course, but of course I did. And she was probably the first person, if not the first person I met when I came here. Actually that was in 93. So that was 27 years ago, but we married 23 years ago.
Well, that's awesome. Well, good for you guys.
Congratulations.
And you showed her how deep your love is by kicking at the garage door today, which to me is really disrespectful, but who am I to say, right?
Don't try and break it before 23, Dave.
Yeah, don't do
I'm on a
that.
thin edge.
Well, I'm so glad you met Tracy, because I got to be honest, she certainly cleaned you up, and so it was a good deal that she
No
came.
doubt. Behind.
That's so good.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything else because I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah, you are. Hey, how was, speaking of your health, and I know the blog gatherwithjim.com, but the vertigo. So for a while, what was that all about?
I have no idea where it came from, why it was there, but it was there for about 3 weeks, went away and came back for about another 2 weeks. It was pretty funny. Like one time I was actually sitting on the toilet and I dropped the toilet paper roll. So I bent over to get it. Imagine this scene. I bent over to get it and I lost all balance and I rolled forward, smacked my head into the wall on the other side. And I was just laughing while I was there going, this is just comical. If only this was captured on TikTok so all the kids could see it.
And that's when you know you've been
TikTok.
married 23 years, when you have to call your wife to come and say, I was
No,
having.
I was able. I got up. I was.
You cut that off pretty quick.
Yeah, we'll just end that story right there, Dave. Yeah, no, that was a weird one. For a little while, it was fun to play with. You know, like you roll over in bed and then you're just spinning like the bed spins for 30 seconds. But after a while, it became quite cumbersome because it couldn't bend over without falling over. You couldn't pick stuff up. You couldn't tie your shoelaces without good, careful consideration.
Wow.
Yikes.
I passed gallstones 2 weeks ago, which was another fun adventure. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
So these are the things Jim recommends. Cancer, don't bother. It's not worth it. It's not as fun as people say.
Yeah, it slows you down.
Yeah, gallstones, not fun either.
No. Spend a week in a hospital, boring. Vertigo, fun for a bit, but you kind of get bored of it. Yeah.
Cancer as a whole, how would you rate that one?
Oh, you know, on one hand, I'll give it a 10. On the other hand, I'll give it a 0. So I don't know if you can average that stuff down, whether there's a median or a mean. I'm not sure which way the math goes on it, but some ways it's a true blessing. In other ways, it's a real pain in the gut. Punch to the gut. It's a real punch to the gut.
You should be a medical professional, Jim.
I should be.
Yeah.
I'm analyzed yesterday. Okay, here's how smart I am on my medical profession. I take a thyroid medication just before bed because you can't take it within 2 hours of eating. So you take it just before you go to bed, hoping that you haven't eaten soon. You take it and then you take your chemo pill out, which I do in the morning because you can't have any food or drink for 3 hours prior to it or anything for an hour afterwards. So you take the chemo pill and you put it beside your bed so that when you wake up in the middle of the night, you go pee. I wasn't thinking I took the thyroid pill, then I took the chemo pill. I went, shoot, I just took my chemo pill. I said, oh, and I wonder how effective it's going to be because it wasn't 3 hours, it was only 2 hours. So I woke up in the morning, I took another one. Well, yesterday turned out to be a bit of a cumbersome day because I doubled down on my chemo. Wouldn't recommend that either. I woke up, I had breakfast. I got up at 10.
Yeah.
Had breakfast, went back to bed until 1, you know, and then I had a bath, and then I started feeling energy, but it basically sucked the wind out of me.
Wow.
At least that's what it did for me yesterday.
Wow. Well, it's a good thing that didn't happen today, because that would have been, imagine the door kick. That wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah. I probably would have gotten it with all that extra superpower. Double dose of chemo. Chemo man. Oh, I'm quarantine man and chemo man. I'm not picking very hot topic.
I don't think you're going to get a lot of competition.
No, I don't think
the newest generation will love it, though.
Yeah.
You're thinking ahead.
Yeah. I think I'd like to see that shirt. Mandy, maybe you can make me that crest. Quarantine man crest. Yeah.
You bet. I'll have it for you this weekend.
Okay, appreciate it. That's right.
That's so, wow, it's so good to see everybody. And Jimmy, I'm just glad you're here and looking as beautiful as you always do. That's good.
Very kind of you. Thanks. I am Now, I got to see the end of this garage being built. So
Yeah.
another, well, they say 6 weeks, but we know it's going to be 4 years. So
Good.
I'll stick around for that.
Good.
I got to be able to throw the champagne bottle at it. Okay,
Oh,
tell
we've
me if
got that
I'm
planned
crazy.
already.
Yeah. So tell me if I'm crazy. And, Tracy won't be happy with this question, but her parents got this big, huge, probably about 5 foot tall chandelier in their house that she wants to
Whoa.
put in our garage for long table dinners. Am I crazy for thinking that's a bad idea? Or is that a good idea?
It's a great
It's a
idea.
great,
You know, what somebody told me once, every idea that your wife comes up is always a great idea.
Yeah. I have said that before, haven't I?
Yep, you have. So remember that, Jim.
Probably not good to ask this question in public, too.
We're all looking forward to the long table dinners in your garage under that
Yeah.
chandelier.
Yeah. Hopefully it's long enough that you don't end up being the one that's out in the alley, eh, Dave?
That's great. I was trying to think of a story I could tell to sort of talk a little bit about the summer and the year or whatever. So I got a couple of pictures, and I'll show one first, and then we'll talk a bit. So the picture that we have,
Nice.
that one there, that picture was taken on Thursday, which was John and Tessa's first day back at school. And we have a picture in front of those bushes every year they've gone to school. And this is the first year, as you can guess, that they've been in face masks. So I was curious and I did the math. So that picture was taken 160 days from the last time they were in a classroom. 160 days. The first time I was out of a class for that long, I was 30 years old, because I went from school to university to a teacher. And then when I quit teaching, I was 30. So that picture, they've spent at 7 years old and 9 years old. That is the longest they've gone outside of a classroom. So then I thought I'll look up how long has it been? How long is 160 days? 160 days ago, when we started the show, there was one COVID death in Canada. In British Columbia, there was one. And today there's 9,000. This is what those of us that sometimes like to worry or be concerned, this is what we think about. In the US, 160 days from when they left the classroom, there was 61 deaths. Now there's almost 200,000 deaths. So that's what I was thinking. That's what I thought about. But what have the kids been thinking about, and what have I been worried about? And it struck me that for the kids, they didn't think that much about it. What John thought a lot about this summer was he read in his Calvin and Hobbes books, where Calvin would get up on a Saturday morning and he would watch cartoons with his buddy Hobbes, and he would eat sugary cereal and just watch cartoons all morning. So he was like, me and Roger, that's his bunny, we want to do that. So every Friday night, the setup became more and more elaborate. It was pillows and blankets and towels and a seat for Roger and a seat for him and the TV and everything. And then he went and bought Fruit Loops, and he'd have it already set out and a bowl set out, and he'd get the milk. And then in the morning, he knew at 7 o'clock, he'd get up and he would try to eat, I think, 4 bowls of fruit, like big bowls of Fruit Loops. And then a few Saturdays in, he figured if you got a straw, then you could suck up all the sugary grunge off the bottom of the bowl. And then but this was like every Saturday, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was that's what he thought about a lot this summer. And really, since he left school. And Tess, I have another picture of her that you can see. So this is a selfie she took, and that's hers there. And 2 things were on Tessa's mind a lot in the last while. One was her bangs. Very excited to get bangs. She talked about it. They planned it. They found a place that would go and get her bangs done. So that's her new bangs. But what I want you to look at is, if you look at that tooth, you see the one on the front. So that's her front tooth that's now climbed over top of the other tooth, because her permanent tooth is behind it. And she has been wiggling that. We've had what is it called, where you guess when it's going to come out?
Paul?
Everybody said July. It's been looking like that for 2 months now. and loose, but just not loose enough. So all of July we went thinking it was going to come out and it didn't. I said I thought it would be August, but I don't think it's going to come out in August. But this is all she's been thinking about is maybe her tooth will come out before she goes back to school. And she was really hoping she could go with her tooth gone and her bangs in, but that didn't happen. She still has that tooth, and she's still working on that. Every night she lies in bed and does the wiggle. It's just like and it's not for money. She just wants it. She just wants to be more grown up. So I was thinking about her and John, and I think of all the stuff I spent all my time worrying about. And I did. I'd come down and I'd sit down here and think, okay, I got to get to work. And then I'd go, work on what? Exactly. and I got so tired of my story, because people say, well, how's it been, or how's work been? And I'd say, well, honestly, I make a lot of my living around crowds, and that doesn't really work during COVID. And then I got tired of that story, and I think, okay, we need a new thing to say, or what we're doing, and I just get all wound in who I was and what am I doing and what does this mean and what's the future and am I ever gonna, all of that stuff that goes round and round and round. And then I looked at these two, the two of them going back to school after 160 days. And I thought how resilient they are and how they never use the word unprecedented. Because for them, every day is unprecedented. They wake up and they're like, what's going to happen today? And it is unprecedented, but not because of some outside thing. There's the day, and they just deal with the day and do what they can. So I was struck with, maybe there's a lesson we can learn from our children, is that they just take it every day and they say, what's going to be fun today? I know, let's have as much sugary cereal as we can pack in. But it was fun for him. And Tess planning her bangs, that was fun and interesting for her. And some things just take a little more patience, like Tess's tooth. And you go, you know what? Some things just come in their own time. So life will show up in its own time. And the thing that struck me most about those kids is how much they trust us. They just think mom and dad and all those other adults I see are going to figure it out, and I'm going to learn everything from them. And that made me realize, if I spend a whole bunch of time going, who am I? What am I doing? This world isn't working out the way I want it to. Well, that's what they're trusting. They're trusting that. Or if I'm using anger or fury or being bitter or rage or just getting upset with people, that's also what they're watching. And it's the same thing I thought of when we first started this show in March, was how much they trust us and how much those two and all these young people watch us. And I think, so what's my job? My job is to be worthy of that. And I think of the love we try to spread with the show, but also just to say the world needs people who are willing to work at whatever it is, and to quit saying the word unprecedented, except to say, all right, so what's today look like? Who's got a tooth we got to worry about, we got to be patient with, and let's cut some bangs, or let's clean up the garage and see what else happens and take it from there. So I was so grateful to come back here today and see you guys, because it reminded me those two are at school today with masks on. And the first day, John said, yeah, I had to wash my hands about 10,000 times. And Tess was like, it's fun talking in a mask all day. And I thought, they're going to come home and they're just going to look at us and go, all right. And they're just going to trust that we've got it figured out. So my job is to be trustworthy, to be worthy of these kids who just say, I'm just going to follow them. So anyway, it was that was a great reminder for me, watching them go off to school, is just how much they trust people, and therefore how trustworthy I need to be, because they need us to be that way. So that's my story. There's my entire
well
story.
done.
Yeah, that's
great. It's so beautiful.
You do good story, Dave.
I wasn't gonna cry. I was gonna be like, oh, I'm coming back on the show, not gonna cry.
I'm proud of you. You made Mandy cry.
Oh, thanks, dude.
But like, even when I was at your house, Mandy, and you see little Luca walk out, like, he's not thinking,
no,
he's just thinking, I don't know, mom's got it figured out, I'll just do what I do. Dad's got it figured out. And it kind of makes me go, ooh, I guess I better have something figured out.
Yeah.
So good.
So beautiful. And just lead with love. We can't control anything else. And Jim, you know that best, but just lead with love always.
Yeah.
And things will come. And you've built such a beautiful unit and community, and and that will always be with you. It's it's such a amazing time to be alive.
Oh, it is amazing, and it's so much of it is how you look at it. You could look at this um, unprecedented time as a real apocalyptic. We're falling off a cliff. This is the worst, and you can rhyme through all the bad things that are happening. Or you could say, and I wrote this in the blog gatherwithjim.com. I'm gonna have to put advertising on it if I'm gonna keep marketing it. You compare it to a caterpillar going into its chrysalis and coming out as a butterfly. Inside that is a pretty chaotic moment, and we've gotten used to it. We accept that. How come we can't accept this chaotic moment for what it is? It's a time of change. The world needed to be better, and what's happening, it just happened to all come at the same time, which may or may not have been the right way to do it. I think it was, but it's a moment of change. And our kids, what we're handing to our kids isn't hell. What we're handing to our kids is going to be kind of almost like a blank slate. Figure it out, make it better, because it isn't so good right now. And I think we can agree on that on many fronts. My numbers are going to go through the roof.
Yeah, it's a time to look forward, not a time to look back.
Yeah. No, but it's always tough, right? While bad things are going on, it's always tough to not. But if you got the proper outlook, these things, and you can see the best coming out of it, then that's such a different perspective than it's bad. Because if you picture it as being, this is the worst, hellish, can't stand it, it's nothing's good's happening, self-prophesizing, it's coming that way. It'll naturally, you got to look where you want to go.
Wow.
It's kind of like a Wayne Gretzky thing. He's pretty smart, that guy.
Has he ever written on your blog, gatherwithjim.com?
Oh yeah. He did a
99
couple of them.
times.
He did it. He did one as a ghostwriter for me. He's quite an eloquent writer. Gandhi's on there.
How much does Mandy get every time she holds up that sign? Like, what is that? How does that work out?
$12.
Ding. Whoa, 25 bucks.
$24. 36. Don't make me
I'm
do that.
collecting on Friday.
48.
Okay, I'll stop there.
Good.
I expect that in check on Friday.
It'd be like $48. It'll be like when we were kids and you got bucks or you got doll hairs. Remember all those jokes?
Yes, those
said doll hairs.
Well, so those of you watching in the comments, if you feel at all like you say, hey, I'd like to see you once a year at most, let us know, because we'll be chatting in the next little while to come up with what's the fall going to look like. And it's just, I would do it just to hang out with you guys, but I realize if other people want to watch along, that we can we'll be around.
Can we at least say we can do a Halloween one?
Yes. If not, we will do a Halloween one.
I want to dress up for Halloween, just in case I can't go anywhere.
Good.
I'm going to be invisible.
Halloween is going to be tremendous. Yes.
No, you're so super quarantine man. Or
whatever, that's right. Super quarantine man.
Yes.
Yeah. Chemo quarantine man.
Right. Yeah. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. Right. Write that down.
$12man.com. One of the links you can find on gatherwithjim.com.
Yeah. Don't say it. That's $60 out.
Well, look, Russ, I realize that this is when your duties get really intense. Of all the musical,
you said duty. Just so you know, you said duty.
we gotta dance, Russ. Do you have any? Is that all right? Do you feel up for something that you can get us to go with?
I do. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Is everyone else ready? Okay.
I'm getting ready.